Hey, today's movie is Barbarella, the 1968 science fiction cult classic directed by Roger Vadim. The film stars Jane Fonda, John Phillip Law, David Hemmings, Marcel Marceau, and Milo O'Shea. In a galaxy where war is an almost forgotten concept and love reigns, rogue scientist Durand has invented a weapon which threatens the peace of the galaxy. Sexy space pilot Barbarella is chosen by the President of Earth to find Durand and retrieve the weapon. Barbarella's mission leads her to a distant planet and the sinister city of Sogo, presided over by the evil Black Queen. Here she must contend with predatory feral children, sadistic robots, incompetent resistance fighters, and the evil minions of the Black Queen, as she struggles to save the galaxy. Barbarella really stands alone in science fiction for its unique tone. It has this effervescent, playful, whimsical quality that make it very much like an Alice in Wonderland in space. Compare it with another classic sci-fi film released the same year, 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is a much more cerebral and even metaphysical exploration of man and his future with space travel. Barbarella is pretty much the opposite of that, and for me, this is one of its greatest strengths. It's just so much fun and so delightful. Watching this film is like falling into a lava lamp and going on a psychedelic trip. It seems to really crystallize this high point of 1960s optimism about social change, and it plays out this fantasy of what that social change might mean for the future of humankind. And interestingly, womankind is very much centralized here. It's a film which imagines a future of real sexual liberation where women's sexuality is no longer tangled up in traditional moral judgments. Barbarella is presented as a joyful kind of innocent whose sexuality is portrayed as something that's just very natural and free. But more than this, Barbarella is emotionally liberated and independent, and she is very much the dauntless action hero of this story, saving Pygar the angel on more than one occasion. Jane Fonda is just phenomenal in this movie, combining sexiness, innocence, humour and heroics in a way that women are rarely permitted to ever show on screen. And she has never looked more stunning. The other incredible and unique thing about this movie is its design, which is also very much at odds with science fiction convention. This is not the cold and clinical looking vision of the future we might be more used to seeing. But here the design is organic. It's all shag pile, inflatable, faux fur, very sinuous, and is gorgeous. This is a softer vision of the future where love is the prevailing value, and what's also valued is human creativity, human artistic expression. Barbarella really embodies these qualities, but equally so does her male counterpart, the angel or ornithanthrope Pygar. As Pygar says, an angel does not make love, an angel is love, and also, interestingly, like the metaphor about love, Pygar is blind. And in the end, it's the combined forces of the pure loving natures of Barbarella and Pygar which seem to transform the Black Queen before our very eyes from a sadistic tyrant into a more gentle and demure figure. And can we just take a minute to appreciate John Phillip Law here? He is one of my favourite actors, and I think Barbarella really shows how great his acting is. Compare this performance as the gentle and softly spoken Pygar to the one he gave just prior to filming this, which was the magnificent Danger Diabolic. The two roles could not be more different, and he plays them both so fantastically. I think he is one of the most beautiful actors to ever appear on screen, and I always think it's a little bit sad that Hollywood just didn't seem to know what to do with him, perhaps because he was so very good looking. But he really gets to shine in this movie. The soundtrack is also another fantastic feature of this film and really captures the very groovy sound of 1968. But it's the costume design of Barbarella that is really in a league of its own, and I would suggest it's worth watching the film for the costume design alone. It is that phenomenal. So what aspects of the film have not aged so well? For me, it's the film's sadistic approach to Barbarella that does not sit well with the concepts in the rest of the film. It's a film about a future of sexual liberation and a sort of joyful sexuality, yet the film is constantly lingering on shots of Barbarella getting hurt, getting her clothes ripped by robots, getting attacked by birds. Given the kind of values that the film is espousing, to me this kind of sits awkwardly and feels a bit uncomfortable and frankly a bit sleazy. And I think that aspect of the film is very much a product of its time. As a time capsule, as a lava lamp filmed with a kind of swirling psychedelic idealism, radical aesthetics, and optimism about human evolution, it remains a surreal and mind-expanding trip that still holds a very potent appeal. As a time capsule for the loveliness, the heroic charisma, comedic charms, and sex appeal of Jane Fonda, 1968 was certainly a year that favoured her very well. And Barbarella, a film that showcased her many talents in a way that I don't think any other film quite did. Was science fiction ever as playful, as whimsical, or as much fun as it is in Barbarella? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.